Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we welcome you to Season 5 here in the NAPC Division B. Our two teams here tonight are Yurp Squad taking on Vapor, and joining me here on the call tonight and our match referee is Toadette. Our producer is Maui from Team Havoc, and my color today is Bryce T, and my name is Clutchy, of course. So, Bryce, how are we feeling tonight?
I'm feeling amazing, Clutch. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see both these teams play tonight. How about you?
I am super excited because now we're in Season 5, a whole new system, as well as now we have a new map set. And, of course, our first map is Oasis. Oasis being the first of 3 maps here And of course, we have Oasis, we have Route 66, and we have Oasis, Route 66, and I believe the last map is
Hanamura.
Hanamura. There we go. That's right. Because we've casted this for yesterday, starting on season 5, as well as today. And yesterday, you and I had a pair of exciting games, both going extremely well, 2-1. And so now we hope to see the same thing here.
By far, and we were lucky enough to cast 2 of the 3 or 4 first games of season 5. Already, we're seeing some fantastic plays from the teams that are coming out here. We mentioned before, there's a lot more going on in OTC, especially on the player side. We have a lot more teams coming in. The divisions are being hashed out in a little more of a a better position. These 2 teams are playing in Division B, which is the one division that we didn't get to see played yesterday. So after today, we'll be able to see, more or less what the differences between these divisions are so far.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the divisions, and we have so much more excitement coming up here in Season 5 because now there's a lot more teams, and now we bring in different divisions as well. You'll see the normal NA divisions, A, B, and C, but you'll also see a great thing called the semi-pro division, which is what we witnessed yesterday. And that was a great game, but then when it came to the regular division, it pretty much was the same thing. So a very exciting game all around as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what these teams bring to the table as we go ahead and go on with game number 1. Oasis, the university, is our first place, and you're going to see pretty much, let's take a look at the lineups here, pretty different actually if you take a look. Really, the only things that are pretty similar are the healers as well as the tanks. The DPSs are going to differentiate here. Pepto and Slimy Serpent, Widowmaker and Tracer respectively. And on Vapor's side, you're going to see a Doomfist as well as a McCree coming out from Minyongi, as well as Widowmaker. So this is going to be interesting to see, but you can already see Vapor pushing out Yurp squad of any chance on this point. And it looks like Vapor's going to be the one to take down everybody. It's a DPS game from Minyongi, and Widowmaker winning the fight there for Vapor. They'll get the first strike on the point.
And it was a really, effective and aggressive push by Vapor for that first point. They really got set up on the point and then pushed straight off. The Widowmaker knocking Pepto out of the fight at the very tail end of that. That's going to be a heavy stagger, even as a Tracer. He's going to be stuck behind the rest of his team. And they're going into this 5-6 until they can get to the rest of his team.
And so now we're going to see if Yurp squad can come out here and pretty much try and take over this point. 25% already. Slimy Serpent starts off, and you'll see Slimy Serpent was on the Widowmaker before, but not really working here on Oasis in the university part, and moves on over to the McCree now. And as we already see, Pele getting already a kill on Minion Gi. And that's going to be huge because now Pele's also got a Fire Strike untold. That's going to be huge for Yurp squad. I think this is going to be the flip for them that they need. 40% on the way for Vapor, but Yurp squad's got the first strike on their point.
Yeah, it really came down to Pele on Yurp squad's side. He had a really aggressive charge that went straight into Vapor's, line, and no matter who he caught, he was in a good position. He managed to knock out Toad near the tail, or near the middle of that fight, and it really knocked Vapor's chances down of out healing any damage. But we're seeing an Earth Shatter from Tash, as well as 4 ults on Vapor's side. So they might be shifting it to their side as this fight begins.
And we're already going to see the Meteor Strike come in from Widowmaker. I believe that's yes, it'll be Widowmaker with the Meteor Strike coming in. Doesn't get any kills, but right now it's still looking good for Vapor. So they're winning the fight here in a 4-0 matchup. Valkyrie's going to be used by Kevin Supreme to try and keep Biso alive, but that's not going to work out. And Vapor going to have themselves another flip on this point, but still, this is pretty much the same contest. 40% for Vapor to start, and now 43% for Yurp squad to start, but now Vapor's got the second flip, so this is not a very momentum swinging game.
Exactly. And, both teams have kind of just been running into each other, pushing, trying to get, poke as many ults as possible before they can, get onto the team the point effectively. And it hasn't really been too many, it's not,
it's going to be a Graviton Surge coming in right down the middle. Transcendence is right there. Also, Earth Shatter coming in. That could be huge. That's a huge Earth Shatter coming in, getting 4 people down the line. And that is going to be another flip for Yurp squad. So that is going to get, again, a game of momentum swings. And this is the one on Yurp squad's side, 77%. But after so much percentage being taken, you can't, if you're Yurp squad right now, you can't really allow another flip to happen.
Exactly. Phoenix, the only person on Yurp squad, well, the only player on Yurp squad with the ults, they're really going to have to try and wait for Wiz to pop that Graviton. That's really going to be the only answer that they're going to have to it. Pepto with the Ice Bomb going out. Not get anybody, though.
Not going to get anybody, and this is still in favor of Yurp squad on the point right now, but here comes Tosh trying to take anything down, but Slimy Serpent right there to take him down. That's a huge pick-off too, because that is the tank. Deadeye's going to come out here for Slimy Serpent, see if that gets anybody. It is not, so he's going to run out of time there. But now the Meteor Strike comes in and Slimy Serpent punishes, and sorry, Widowmaker punishes Slimy Serpent for the Deadeye. And it's still in favor of Vapor right now. Widowmaker coming out with his Doomfist, really doing some work. Gonna fall down the middle, actually tries to get back up, does so. That might as well be the flip, because Pepto's gonna go down and Vapor's gonna have themselves the flip. So again, a game of swinging momentums here. The pendulum keeps moving, but now it's in favor of Vapor with a final 20% left to go.
Yeah, the Yurp squad is definitely coming down the wire with a counter to Widowmaker. The McCree isn't getting the flashbangs on him that they need to, and they don't really have much of a response. If they're running, you know, a Brigitte or someone that has more CC than just a flashbang, they'd be in a better position, because he is pretty much just punching through their entire team as Miyagi gets that kill on Peps to begin this fight.
That Deadeye, from Minyungi, also gonna get the double kill on the Deadeye. Tash brings down Kevin Supreme, and that is the objective secured. What a play from Vapor at the end. That will do it, and Minyungi really helping out his team at the end. 3 kills to end off that fight. It's 1-0 for Vapor right now, and this is gonna be up to Yurp squad to win the next 2 on the City Centers, as well as the Garden in our next map here, the City Center. So Yurp squad gonna have to come back down 1-0 here.
Yeah, and you know, Yurp squad is sort of in an interesting position right now, because they're sort of still trying to figure out how Vapor is working. You know, the first map is always a little interesting to see how teams react to what's being put in front of them. There are so Slimy is switching to the Widow, and I've seen Yurp squad play before, and Slimy is very competent and very good mechanically on Widowmaker, so hopefully they can use that to their advantage against Widowmaker, who, if left uncontested, is in a good position to wreak havoc on the rest of Yurp squad's backline.
And the funny thing is, too, here for Yurp squad, too, they still have Pepto on that Tracer, but then Vapor on the other side. They're going to try the Pharmacy combo with Widowmaker, as you said, Widowmaker and Scarecrow on the Pharmacy combo here. We'll see if that works out in their favor, because right now, Vapor really taking over this point. The only one point here is the Zenyatta from, the Widow from Phoenix, as well as the Valkyrie coming out from Kevin Supreme. So right now, but it's still Vapor coming out with the advantage here on the point. Tash is going to get the tackle on B, so Kevin's going to try and keep him up as long as possible. It's going to be Yogi taking him down right away. Phoenix and Kevin just going to back up here for Yurp squad. And that's going to be another good flip for Vapor. So right now, they do have the momentum on their side, as they've won that last point 194, but don't count on Yurp squad yet, because there was a lot of flips back on the University.
Exactly, you know, they're just starting to build up ults. The point only has 5% built up on it, but Yurp squad really has to step up and really stop letting those easy reses get out. Miyagi knocking Slimy Serpent down, you know, putting them in a position to res. We don't this without that, you know, utility from Mercy.
And Minyungi, if you weren't watching that, Minyungi just hit one of the craziest shots, jumps down from the top of the City Center zone, and just absolutely demolishes Slimy Serpent on the other side. It's a great hit by him. But right now, it's still in favor of Yurp squad coming in for this point. 3-2. Now the Rocket Barrage from a faraway land comes in for Widowmaker, but Slimy Serpent right there to end Minyungi and Widowmaker. So both DPS is down. Looking good for Yurp squad as both Viso takes down Wiz, and that would be the fight for Yurp squad. So again, 41. This is 40%. Pretty similar to the last round. Yurp squad has themselves the first strike.
Yeah, and right now, ult economy is even around the board. Minyugi's just about to get his infrared. But we're seeing Widowmaker switching off of the Pharah onto the Genji. You know, probably gonna be looking to harass the Yurp squad backline. Slimy Serpent, you know, trying to show Minyugi that he's also a Widowmaker that's not to be messed with. You know, pretty even battle going on for the Widows so far on this round.
Scarecrow's going to get the res on Minyungi, so Minyungi is going to have another try at the Widowmaker battle here against Slimy Serpent, who, like you said, it's just a momentum battle at this point. That's a huge Earth Shatter, and both tanks. Self-Destruct's also going to come out right down the middle. Tasha's going to be right there to block any damage. There comes the Primal Rage coming out from Pele with this Winston, and of course there is Kevin with the Valkyrie trying to keep his team alive at that point, so it's pretty much a push and shove battle. Oh, and there's Slimy Serpent to res their own, res from Kevin Supreme to res their own Widowmaker of Slimy Serpent. Looking around though, but it still looks like it's going to be in Yurp squad's favor. And right now, it's again, Tosh is going to just come in and win this battle here for the Yurp squad. Pele's going to come in, get himself a double kill to start us off, and Yurp squad wins themselves a first good defensive hold here in the city Center. My apologies, 65% here on the point.
And they did commit a lot of ults. They burned through both of their tank ults, and while going into this, Vapor is in a good position. They have Transcendence and they have Grab. Widowmaker almost has Blade, and Phoenix doesn't have Transcendence, so Vapor's in a good position. They almost have win condition going into this. So Yurp Squad's really gonna have to make sure that they can keep their healers up throughout this push.
Speaking of healers going down, here comes the Dragon Blade from Widowmaker, takes down Slimy Serpent, also takes down Phoenix in the background. That's one, that's two, that's three from Beasto. Santa Maria! What a play from Vapor, what a last second pull from them. 96-45 on the flip, and Vapor's got themselves, they gotta try and hold this all the way, but what an impressive play from Widowmaker, and discipline from Vapor as well. They hold themselves 4 ults coming into the next fight.
You know, they had had ult advantage, and they really only needed Widowmaker with that Dragon Blade. Yurp Squad was kind of thrown through a loop, so they weren't. I don't think they were exactly prepared at that exact moment. And you know, Wiz holding onto that Graviton is really important because we're nearing 70% against 96. So if Yurp Squad caps the point, they're going to be in a better position, but they have to cap the point first.
Yurp Squad really not having that opportunity right now. Tasha's going to bring down almost the entire team with that Graviton Surge. And that's also 2 ults gone for them. That's pretty much the entire team gone for Yurp Squad as well. Pepto and Pele, the only ones that can get on this point right now. 85%, but there's 2 ults left to go for Vapor. They still have a Valkyrie as well as a Transcendence coming up. Yurp Squad pretty much only going to have 2 ults coming up here unless everybody gets it. That's going to be the Valkyrie as well as the Primal Rage coming up here. But somebody's got to get on this point. 5% left on the tick for Vapor. Finally, Pele's going to jump in to save the day here to contest the point and take this to overtime.
And, you know, Kevin Supreme with that Valk, looking to pop it just to get the rest of the team. Looking for the res on Pepto. No, doesn't get it though.
Doesn't get it in time, and still this is going to be Vapor's win. Now the Dragon Blade from Widowmaker's going to come out as well. Takes down Biso. Now the Deadeye tried to clear on the point from Inyungi. That's going to clear on Pellet. The last person left to go on this point is going to be Pepto with the Tracer. Trying to stagger out as long as possible. Slimy does go down. Now the Earth Shatter. Oh, rewinds just in time before the Earth Shatter. What a play from Pepto. The Pulse Bomb does get whisked, but it's not enough for them team to come back, and Vapor's got themselves to win here on the City Center and University of Oasis.
You know, it was a really smart hold by Vapor there. We talked about how they used both their ults to shut down Yurp Squad's push. Perfectly timed as well, because that you know, right here is what I was talking about, the Earth Shatter and the grab. What they didn't grab with the Earth Shatter, they picked up with the grab, and it gave them enough time. They had 80% at this point. Time was running down for Yurp Squad, and they weren't able to really come back from that. Something that is important to see back there, though, was Kevin Supreme went in for a really ballsy res to pick up Pepto, I think, and went really far, way too far into Yurp Squad's backline. Left himself exposed without his teammates, and Min Yoongi was able to just turn around, get the flashbang on him, didn't get the immediate headshot on him, but still managed to knock him out before he went back to the rest of his team. And, you know, really left Yurp Squad in a tough position to go up against an entire push with down 2 players at that point.
And it was really good for Vapor on the whole, like you said, but Yurp Squad also came in with a few momentum swings of their own. Talk about snipers from Slimy Serpent, as well as the tank plays from Pele right there, trying to save them as much face there as possible. But I think the one you got to be careful for is Biso, because he was getting shut down a lot as that Diva, but you never know. A Diva could make a huge difference on a self-destruct, and Biso's going to be the one that could make the difference there.
Yeah, and, you know, Vapor so far has done a good job shutting down Biso and not letting them, you know, get the utility out of that Diva that they are hoping to get, or that they want to get. And, you know, that's really what Vapor's strong suit has been right now. And they're really playing around their DPS as well. They're not letting them overextend too far. They're not, you know, leaving them all by themselves. The tanks are coordinating well enough so that their healers have a bit of cover to get heals to their DPSs, and is really coordinating very well on both their defensive holds and their pushes on attack.
All right, so as we get ready for the next map here, our next map here on the set series is Route 66. So while we have the teams almost ready to go, I think Yurp Squad says they are ready, and Vapor just trying to get in a sub. So we'll see a little bit of a roster change coming up here for Vapor in just a second. But let's talk about the Season 5 coming up for those that don't know. So Season 5 underway already, as we said. You and I saw 2 great games yesterday from the Semi-Pro Division, as well as I believe it's the NAPC Division A that we were looking at yesterday as well. And those were two great games, Everything basically going on just push and momentum. And you talk about momentum swings. It was pretty much the same thing as it was here because really both teams had the sides to try and win that. It's just Vapor came out striking more often, but it's not over yet because just because they win 2-0 does not mean they can win the rest of the other two games.
Exactly, and we talked a lot yesterday about how mechanically the teams, especially at these levels, and the way that competitive Overwatch is the way that it is, the teams can, for the most part, mechanically be pretty evenly matched, and it comes down to those ultimate fights, and it's the fights that in between ults where the teams are really just pushing each other, just trying to get 1 or 2 picks, and then pushing on the advantage there. But once ults are brought into the occasion, it really comes down to which team is communicating and coordinating better. Because, Earth Shatter and Graviton, if you don't get the utility out of those that Vapor did, that would be seen as sort of over-ulting. And so far we've seen from both these teams, they've been really good about holding back their ults when it's not necessary.
And that's the biggest thing we saw yesterday as well too, because ult economy is really the one that becomes the biggest factor when you saw it in Vapor. We saw this earlier from Vapor. They were great on holding their ults. Really, you said this before too, Widowmaker needing only that Dragon Blade to really clear out the point, and Vapor not really needing the rest to clear out the point as well, unless you have the Earth Shatter and the Graviton Surge come in. So now it looks like we are entering the game here for our next one. Route 66 is our second map here in the series, and an escort map to start off our week 1 of play here for our second game at least. So looks like we're entering game now. A little slow for me, but now we're in. And you can see Route 66. We move on from Oasis in Egypt. Now we're moving on to the Americas here in Route 66. A very popular escort map for some, and as some in Season 4 said, it was banned as well. So pretty popular map either way. But what should we expect from both teams for Yurp Squad and Vapor?
So already we've seen both teams sort of showing what DPSs they want to, try out, and what tank configurations that they want to try out. We've seen the brawling Zarya Ryan, we've seen the dive heavy D.Va Winston, and what I'm sort of expecting is either they're going to go straight dive or they're going to go with a mix of the two, because we've seen we've seen Wiz on the Zarya, but not really getting much use out of her ultimate, other than the play of the game that helps that they were able to get last game. But we're going to be seeing, Zarya Ryan is really popular at this level, of play. The teams are it's a little bit easier for them to coordinate with, the D.Va being the one who's running around, especially if she's not alone, if she has a little bit of backup, the Zenyatta orb on her, able to get a little bit of utility out of the dive while that Reinhardt is able to stay back and protect the rest of their back line.
And so we're going to see here, like you said, that Reinhardt coming in to pretty much protect the rest of their back line there. But then Yurp Squad coming in, take a look at their attack here. Biso with that pretty much that D.Va coming in, see if he can get anything out of it, because we said before, Biso was pretty much shut down in that last game, and we need to find a way to he needs to find a way to pretty much show up here, because that D.Va play could really come in handy come the time where that Graviton Search from Wiz comes in.
Exactly. Oh, Slimy, nice.
Slimy with a good first pick, but I believe it's going to be Tosh to res him right away. But that's a good start for Yurp, because now no chance of a res for the next 30 seconds here for for Vapor. So Yurp Squad starts off pretty well here. Gonna get a few picks, but still on top of the gas station of Big Girls. And right now, just trying to get anything coming around. They do get around the first turn of the S-curve right now, but it's still in favor of Yurp Squad. Hanzo from Pepto, switching on over from the Tracer earlier, takes down Widowmaker as well as Tosh, so no chance of a rest for them coming up in the next few seconds here. And so it's looking good for Yurp Squad on the defense right now. Pellet's gonna get, Kevin's gonna get the rest on Pellet just in time, and Wiz is going to just back up, hopefully can get back in time. Biso takes down Wiz, and that will be it for Vapor's first try. So 1 minute and 5 seconds down, and Yurp Squad's already got themselves a first good defense.
Yurp Squad's really in a good position right now. They have ult advantage for, from holding that ult, that point well enough. Mini Yugi has that, sorry, a little confused right there. Sorry, Slimy has that infra, which is going to really come in handy with Biso is going to help him choose which you know, backline area he wants to dive in, as that, you know, is talked at the beginning of this fight.
So now, take a look at the ult economy. So you have 2 ults coming up for your squad. That's the Dragon Strike as well as the Valkyrie. So they pretty much have a good defense. Speaking of which, here comes the Dragon Strike right down. Wiz is going to be in the middle of that. Does take a lot of damage, but it's healed up right away. But still, it's looking good for Yurp squad. Pepto moving on to the Hanzo may have been the smart move here because now he's getting killed. Slimy wins the Widow battle around Min Yoongi, and that should be the back off reset for Vapor here, then in which case they are, because Widowmaker's going to go down by the hands of Slimy Serpent. So Yurp squad once again with another good defensive hold halfway through. 2 team fights in, 2 fights won.
You know, Biso about to get that self-destruct will put Yurp squad, you know, ahead of Vapor when it comes to ult economy. They do have both support ults, which is, you know, much better to have in your back pocket when you're going into this defensive push on this first point of Dorado.
So we're going to see the team from Vapor try their next attempt here on the attack. They're going to try a little bit of a different tactic now. Not going to try for the ground game. They're going to try for the upper game here. Steps up onto the rocks up top, but it's still going to be the gas station try for your squad. Self-destruct right there on top. See if you can get anybody. That gets a double kill on Yugi and Zingara, so that's a big self-destruct for them. Biso's showing up here now. The Dragon Blade also comes out from Widowmaker. Gets Kevin Supreme in the background, but right now it is. And Widowmaker also gets the charge on Pepto, and that is the winning fight for Vapor. And so they're going to get an additional 2.5 on the clock, 3.5 to push this payload up to the next point for Vapor.
You know, like you said, Biso showing up, getting the double kill with that self-destruct, but the rest of the team wasn't able to capitalize on that, and they really, you know, left them in an uncomfortable position as Vapor was pushing through, you know, more effectively than Yurp squad's defense at that point.
And this is basically the same situation Vapor was in last time. They had 4 ults coming in. 2 of their DPS didn't have ults, but the 4 others, the 2 tanks and 2 healers, both have their ults. All have their ults. In the meantime, your squad, on the other hand, has that Earth Shatter Transcendence ready to go if anything should happen. And I believe if you're a Zenyatta, you want to save that for the Graviton Search if anything should happen right there.
Exactly. Even though Vapor isn't running, oh, Mini Yugi's showing up again. The double kill on. Woo!
Gets this double kill on Kevin and Slimy Serpent right now, so that is advantage for Vapor. Dragon Blade comes out for Widowmaker, but doesn't get really anything going. But still, Vapor coming in. Dragon Strike going to come right down in the middle of the payload. Does get Toad. Toad not able to get around that Dragon Strike in time. And it's still in favor of Vapor right now. Pepto's going to take down Minyungi, but is that enough to hold off this payload? Pepto and Pele is going to get on there, as well as Kevin, so some heals coming up here for the team on your squad. Now the Earth Shatter is going to get both Wiz and Tosh at the same time. Those could be 2 huge kills. Tosh is going to go down. I don't know where Wiz went exactly. I think he got backed up. And yes, it's going to be Widowmaker and Wiz both backing up, which means the 1.72 meters not conquered yet by Vapor is going to be held off by Yurp squad. So they've got themselves another good defense, but 2 minutes left to go. We know Yurp squad has 2 ults coming up with that, or maybe 3 actually, if I'm counting this right, with the Dragon Strike, Valkyrie, as well as the self-destruct coming up. Vapor still has 4 ults with 2 tanks, 2 healers.
Oh, before I could even say anything, Pepto was knocked out.
Pepto's knocked out. Oh, gets the rest just in time. Kevin's right there to rest before Widowmaker's right there, but also takes down Pepto. So the DPS is for Vapor really working out in their favor. That's 3 kills in the last 4. Make that 4 in the last 5 for Widowmaker, and that's going to be huge for Vapor. They're going to strike point number 2 here. They've got 250 to strike point 3.
And all 6 ults on Vapor's side, by the way. But Widowmaker really showing up on that Genji. He's really showing that he, you know, whether it's Doomfist or Genji, he's a really aggressive mobile DPS player that, you know, really has to be one of the opposing team's main focus to shut him down immediately, because he knocked down Pepto, Kevin, and then Pepto again. Or sorry, Mini Young knocked out Pepto, but they almost shut down the res, and that's really something that they need to start doing on both sides. But Pepto knocked down Widowmaker, shutting down the possibility for that the Dragon Blade at the beginning of this fight, unless he can get rested.
So the payload keeps on moving here. It's still contested here. 35.12 meters in. No ults yet for Vapor, so they're holding on to it as long as possible. Min Yoongi gets the kill on Slimy Serpent, winning that Widowmaker battle, but Kevin's right there to res him up. The Dragon Blade as well as the Valkyrie is both going to come on from Widowmaker and Tash on Vapor's side, and this may work out. Actually, now the Dragon Strike going to come right down the middle of the payload, see if that gets anybody in the background. Toad, once again, can't escape, but also Wiz can't escape. Pepto's got the 3rd kill. Santa Maria! What a play from Pepto. 3 players down for Vapor right now. Make that 4 on Min Yoongi. That's going to be huge Pepto might have just won himself play of the game right there, and Vapor's got to move back. Your squad with the first good defense here on point number 3.
You know, Pepto's got to be feeling good. Only player in the lobby right now on fire after that phenomenal play on for Yurp squad to help them hold this point. 1 minute and 22 seconds left on the clock, but Vapor still has ult advantage, so they have the time, but they just need to make sure that they're making this push smart.
They also have, so Biso also having that self-destruct as well as the Earth Shatter, so they may work out together as well. Vapor's got 4 ults coming in, infrared sight coming in for Minyungi as well to try and figure out where everyone is for Vapor, and Minyungi's going to use that to his advantage, taking down Slimy Serpent in the process. So Minyungi, we were talking about this, it was a battle, it was pretty much a balanced battle earlier, but Minyungi really showing up here. The self-destruct going to come in, takes down Tosh, and that's a huge kill. That takes down any chance of a res or big kills coming up for Yurp squad. So they're really winning the battle right now. 3 ults left to go here for Vapor. Transcendence, Earth Shatter, and Graviton Search, and nothing big coming up unless Widowmaker gets a Dragon Blade, which won't come up right now because Pepto's right there to take him down. So 30 seconds left to go. Somebody's got to find the point here for Vapor.
Exactly, 30 seconds left on the clock. Wiz has had that Graviton since halfway through the second push. I know he's got to be getting a little anxious on when he's going to be able to push that point down, push that Q button, but he really needs to send it out quick because he's been holding on to it for way too long.
Pella's actually going to help out. Pella's going to help out Slimy Serpent on the Widowmaker battle. Takes down Minyungi, and that's going to be huge. Minyungi's going to switch on over to the Doomfist, see if he can get there in time. But right now, nobody contesting the point. 3 seconds left to go, and finally Widowmaker was right there. The Earth Shatter comes out for Pele, not getting anybody. Now the Graviton Search, 3 people inside that Search. The question is to follow up, but Slimy Serpent and Pepto right there to take care of 2. Earth Shatter also from Cigara, trying to get anybody, not really getting anything. Dragon Strike to clear out the point down the middle for from Pepto. That will pretty much clear out the point. The only one left to go is Wiz and Toad on this point. Dragon Blade also from Widowmaker trying to do some damage on this point right now. Trying to reflect anything, but it's going to be Slimy Serpent ending any questions. And that will be it. 2 points and a few meters for Vapor, which means no chance of a tie. Yurp squad has the door open.
And Vapor really tried to commit as many ults to that push as possible, and it's kind of what led to their downfall because they had both support ults popping almost simultaneously. You really don't need both a Transcendence and a Valkyrie, especially when you're running against Slimy Serpent. You want to stay, you want to keep that Mercy out of his line of sight, and when you're flying around high with the bright red wings, you're putting a target right on your head, letting Slimy Serpent just dial you in and knock you out, burning through that ult.
And I think the biggest thing there too was though Pepto I think finally found his groove because you finally have he moved on over from the Tracer, now playing the Hanzo, and I think in this map it allows for a double sniper combo as you saw Pepto and Slimy Serpent go off, but Pepto really winning the battle there for Yurp squad at least for a little while, and then but Vapor on the other side, Minyungi's got to be the one you got to watch out for because that sniper really coming in and winning the battle in the Widowmaker battle for Slimy. It's just a matter of if he can help out the team the rest of the way.
Exactly. Minyungi's really stepping up as a very smart and aggressive hit scan DPS player, which, you always want on your team because it always shuts down the possibility of playing against a pharmacy.
Mm-hmm. And so now we're going to take a look at the lineups here for the prepare to attack, prepare your defenses phase here for Vapor. Pretty much, again, running that double sniper combo, Widowmaker on the Hanzo and Minyungi on, or I'm sorry, Widowmaker on the Hanzo and Minyungi on the Widowmaker, and the Hanzo really switching it up from the Genji pick earlier, but seeing if they can get that double sniper underway as well. Wiz is going to play the tank for, Wiz is going to move on over from the Zarya, now playing the D.Va. Zigara, Toad, and Tash, pretty much the same thing. Actually, Toad now moving on over to the Mercy, Tash playing the Zenyatta. Can't say anything about Yurp squad yet, 10 seconds left to go, but I think this is what they're playing with.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how long Biso is going to be on that far out, especially running against Minyungi. He's going to be in for a tough time unless the tanks on Yurp squad can be really aggressive and pushing Minyungi enough that it gives Biso the space that he needs to breathe in the air and really get rain down damage on Vapor to build up that barrage.
You also have to wonder about Slimy Serpent as well, trying to win the battle, and there's the answer to my question. Minyungi takes out Slimy Serpent right away, takes down Phoenix as well. Got 2 kills in the last 3 so far here in this last team fight here. So it's still going to be Yurp squad pushing up this payload. Phoenix is the one to get res by Kevin. Toad res as Widowmaker as well. So we've got a fight going on up top on the gas station. Right now, Biso winning the fight with 2 kills. And it's still in favor. Yurp squad just really pushing this payload all the way through. The sniper battle being won by Yurp squad so far. Slimy takes down Widowmaker in the process. So Wiz the only one left to contest the point. And it's probably going to go down at this point by the hands of Pepto. So Pepto actually moves on over from the DPS to a Winston, which is helping them out in their favor right now as Zagara goes down, and that will be it. So Yurp squad probably won't get this point, and a very fast take for them as well. Just over a minute in. I don't know if Widowmaker's going to contest this with the Tracer, probably not. And that's going to be it for the point. So they get their first point. So a lot more time than Vapor had on their first try. 5 minutes 15 to push this to the second point.
Exactly, but Vapor is in a good position. They were able to get their entire team out to this, just past this gate and get set up for a defensive hold. Minyungi is taking the high ground here, looking for Slimy Serpent, but gets found before I can finish saying anything.
Gets found right away, so Minyungi goes down to the hands of Slimy Serpent to start. Really holding on to the payload though is this Tracer from Widowmaker, really showing up here, trying to get any damage right now in the backfield is Vapor that's lacking anything, or any damage really. Pepto's gonna go all by himself here, try and dive in some damage. And still in that propane tank room with the primal rage. Biso's gonna try and help out, as well as Pele. So really a good clear for Yurp squad, at least from Pepto, trying to clear anything that does waste an ult. You've got 3 ults left to go here. Valkyrie, Rocket Brush, as well as the Transcendence coming out for Yurp squad, and all 6 ult coming out for Vapor, so they do have the ult economy advantage.
They do have the ult advantage, but it still seems like the fight is evenly matched on both sides. But Widowbreaker, woo!
Widowmaker's got 1, got 2, got 3, got 4. Santamaria! What a play from Widowmaker. That's 4 kills there. And what a play. I mean, we've seen impressive Tracers before. Widowmaker may have just contested Pepto for play of the game right there.
I was almost just about to say that just because you have ultimate advantage doesn't mean you win the fight, but you have a player like Widowbaker, who can, sort of take the fight into his own hands and knock down 4 kills almost simultaneously, both with his pulse bomb and 2 just with his blasters alone. Wonderful play by Widowbaker right there.
And it's still, and even if your name is Widowbaker, you're still playing so well. It's like we get the name confused. Your name is Widowbaker, but you're not playing a Widowmaker, so who knows what's going on here. But again, Vapor winning the battle here. Like you said, just because you have the ults doesn't mean you need to use it to win a fight, and right now that is exactly what Vapor is doing. And this Tracer from Widowmaker going off, the only player on fire right now for the entire game, really. We're coming up, Yurp squad with 4 ults, same thing for Vapor, so this could very well be the fight to watch here coming up in the next 3 minutes left to go on the point.
Exactly. Widowmaker already has his pulse bomb again, so let's see what he's got in the oven, prepared for Vapor. Oh, not getting anything though.
Not getting anything on the pulse bomb this time, and Widowmaker's going to get punished for self-destruct up on top. Really not going to get anybody. Don't know if that was a misclick or not from play, but that's still not going to get anybody in the background. So 3 ults left to go on both, on Yurp squad side. 4 for Vapor. This might be the one that they use. Biso takes down Zagara to start off there. So it's going to be a winning battle here for Yurp squad. Down 3 players. Vapor needs to find a way to get this back. No ults coming in as well, and that may as well be a team kill here because Yurp squad's pretty much got the entire squad. Zagara, the only one left to try and defend this point, but he is too far out, and it looks like Yurp squad's going to have themselves another minute and a half to push this up to the final point.
Phoenix on the Zenyatta there with 2 kills of his own, really showing that Zenyatta can be just as effective on attack, as a sort of a pseudo DPS player.
So it's going to be 4 ults coming in for Vapor, as well as 5 coming in for Yurp squad as well. So Yurp squad has the ultimate economy advantage, and Slimy Serpent takes down Widowmaker, so any chance of him being ineffective here is going to be out of range. Oh, but Toad gets the res just in time before Biso takes him down. Earthshatter's going to get 4 people in the process. Self-destruct right on top of the door. Is that going to get anybody? That gets 1, that gets 2, that gets both healers. Kevin and Phoenix are down, which means this is an advantage Vapor right now if you're them. So you want to push up Pepto, Pele, and Slimy, the only ones left to go. Slimy does take down Minyungi, and Widowmaker's right there to avenge him. So right now, this payload not moving because both healers are down for Vapor. I'm sorry, both healers are down for Yurp squad. Now Vapor's got themselves the first good defensive hold, but this payload, it's just a stagger. A double pulse bomb kill. Santa Maria, what a play from Widowmaker. That's Kevin and Pele down. Kevin just can't get away from anything coming on here from, it basically can't get away. Kevin just can't get away from anything Widowmaker's breaking up right now.
Man, that was... Woo! Widowmaker with that pulse bomb is one of the most deadly things that Yurp squad is going up against right now, especially for both of their healers.
Aiming for both of the healers, you can see Vapor sitting right down in their golden square, meaning Yurp, again, no chance of a tie here. Yurp squad has to defend this all the way. Vapor has to defend this all the way. Doing a good job so far, holding pretty much the 2 tanks in that room right now from Yurp squad. Going to try and run away. Pele's going to get team-backed, and Pepto's going to try and get out of there. Yurp goes down by the hands of Wiz. So again, Vapor coming in with the victory on the team fight. But let's not forget the ult economies. 4 ults coming up for Yurp squad in the next team fight as they reset, and Vapor coming up with 3.
You know, Minyungi with that Deadeye, almost forgot that for a second, is really going to be crucial if they can knock Biso out of the fight, you know, really early into that and make sure that the tanks are preoccupied so they can't dive in and shut down whether it's the you know, D.Va's defense matrix or Winston's shield. But Biso with that rocket barrage is really going to be crucial for them to win this fight if he can manage to get it off and knock out enough of their team.
2 more ults coming in for your squad as well. That's going to be the Primal Rage as well as Pele here. And Pele is with self-destruct here so far winning the battle. Your squad is going to push out. Toad gets the kill on Biso with the Battle Mercy, also gets the rest on Zingara. Here comes the self-destruct in the background for Vapor from Wiz. Not going to get anybody, still in favor of your squad though, but a minute 15 left to go. Somebody's got to get here. And still, Transcendence is going to come up here for Phoenix. Trying to get anything down. That's 2 people going down here on the Earth Shatter from Zingara, but Zingara himself goes down. And so 1 person left to contest this point right now. That is Wiz. Trying to hold off as long as possible. Wiz gets D-Mac, probably will go down. Self-destruct in the background to try and hold off anybody there. Not going to get anybody in the process, but still the payload moves even closer in the final 7 meters. And this is exciting, folks. This is just a push and shove at this point.
Vapor switching. They're switching to more of a, you know, last minute, just get to the point as quick as possible. Stay alive for as long as you can while the rest of the team is building up. But, you know, a really smart stall switch right there.
But it is not enough at all. Yurp squad comes back and ties up the game here at 1 apiece here on Route, and they get their kicks here on Route 66.
And of course, the play of the game from Widowbaker. I almost want to say Widowbreaker because the amount of times that we're seeing him shut down Slimy Serpent.
Gets the pulse bomb kill on Kevin as well as the teammate, and right there gets a double kill immediately on Pete. I don't think they even knew he was there. Gets the double kill as well as the last kill. So very well deserved play of the game there from the Widowbaker of Tracer, because that was just insane from him right there. But it's still Yurp squad coming out with a win, and that is huge for them because now we go into Hanamura. Maybe we'll see a tie, but the more likely thing is somebody's going to win the series right here.
Exactly, and as we saw in our games yesterday, Hanamura is really the game that came down to the wire. Not just because it was the last game of the series tonight, but it's really where both teams, you know, brought the best possible plays and players on the heroes that they really played well with.
Mm-hmm. And we saw, yeah, like you said, a lot of time, like both games yesterday, Hanamura is where it came down to which team has the stronger willpower, which team has the better team composition, or which team has the better teamwork. Hanamura is now 2 CP, so back on Oasis, the control point map, your Vapor won that 2-0. Yurp squad then comes back on an escort map on Route 66, 3-2. So who do you think seems to have the advantage here going into Hanamura?
You know, right now we saw Vapor being really smart with the switching to the stall comp at the end there. Didn't seem, you know, it's a very snap decision that whoever is making the calls on that team needs to make. The second that they're in that position, it comes down to, okay, do we switch now or do we wait? And you know, it can really do a lot of damage if you hit the gun early, you jump the gun early with that, and leaves you in a tough position because you're waiting on players to come back being staggered. But they picked, in my opinion, the perfect time to do that. It's just Yurp squad was already set up well enough. They had better positioning going into that push, and they really only had to push it a little bit less by the time Vapor was able to at least contest the point the little bit that they were. It's really going to come down to Yurp having a response to Widowbreaker, because on attack especially, because having the DPSs that we've seen Widowbreaker playing, whether it's the Genji or the Doomfist, it's very mobile and fast, and it's really hard to keep up with a lot of the time. And he's just going straight for their backline and knocking Slimy Serpent out, which is a very crucial pick, especially when you have a Widowmaker on the field. A lot of times the initial first moments of the push on either side is dictated by the Widowmakers or the Widowmaker who can get that initial pick. Because if you can knock down a healer, a DPS, a squishy target that can go down with one shot from her, the sniper rifle mode, it really sets the tone for the other team of how they're going to be able to react to that. Because if it's the Mercy, they're out of that that direct healing for the entirety of their fight. But if it's another hero, it's down to whether or not, okay, is this resable? Should we go with this res, or do I hold on to that for later on in the fight when a main tank or the other healer goes down? So it's really coming down to if Slimy Serpent can get into a good position and manage to shut down a lot of Vapor's pushes, then they'll be in a good position. And on the flip side, if Widowbreaker is able to keep doing what he's doing and wreaking havoc in the backline, it's really going to send Yurp Squad through a loop and hopefully pushing them to choose switch their comp around a little bit to something that will counter the more mobile and almost dive heavy comp that the dive comp that we are seeing Vapor running to on this first point in Hanamura.
And Yurp Squad running the sniper, as you said, Slimy Serpent. So he's going to be the only sniper in this battle right now, as you can see, or in this battle other than Pepto, because Pepto's running the Hanzo as well. So the double sniper coming out for Yurp Squad. But keep in mind, both sides running the standard 2-2-2. It's just a matter of which one is running which. Vapor's running that dive, like you said, with the Gara, Scooch, Minyungi, and Widowbaker all running pretty much a dive comp. And then Yurp Squad, the double sniper coming out from Pepto and Slimy. The question is who comes out with victory here on Hanamura as we attack here on Vapor's side. They're going to get the first try on the point here and see if they can get anything going. You're going to see Widowbaker. Now they notice the Tracer's there. Now they got to start to worry because that Tracer is very deadly for them. Pepto's going to try his work his way around to see if he notices where the Tracer is. Oh, and they're going to fight automatically to start here. Going to see a Pepto versus Widowbaker fight, but I think it's going to be Widowbaker really winning this fight, and that is going to be it for him. But right now, going back to the regular fight itself, Vapor's already taken down 3 people on the Yurp Squad. Make that 4, and a 4-1 trade for them. And that would surely be it for Yurp Squad. Toad gets the res on Scooch, so the best plays coming out for Vapor right now. Already takes at least the first tick. The question is the follow-up for Yurp Squad if they want to contest the point. The answer is no, so you'll have about 7 minutes of watch time here on the second point as Vapor rings the bell and comes into the dojo right now.
It's very interesting because Vapor's running a really dive-heavy comp. We're seeing Widowbreaker trying to get that cheeky back cap, unable to really get it on this first try. But that was, in my opinion, a pretty slow dive push from Vapor, but it was still effective enough that they were able to get the point on pretty much their first push. With Slimy switching off the Widow onto the Reaper to try and counteract Zagara on that, aggressive Reinhardt. But they do manage to be holding it here with the double kill from Pele.
Double kill from Pele as well as a double kill from Slimy, so that's going to help them out immensely here. And Slimy Serpent, and as you said, a change from Widowmaker, a great change for him as well. Slimy Serpent's got 3 kills in that last fight, and Scooch is just gonna kill himself to reset with the rest of his team. But take a look at the ult economies coming up now. Vapor's got 2, the Dragon Blade as well as the Pulse Bomb from Widowmaker. That's been huge on Route 66. Yurp Squad's got to be careful, but they only have a Valkyrie coming up for them as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's really going to come down to if Phoenix can build up that trans, it'll really be their one response at the moment to Minyugi's Dragon Blade. But Toad, on the other hand, on Vapor side, has his Valkyrie, so they are in a good position. Almost have both support ults. Tracer battle going on the top right.
So we're gonna see already. We're gonna see here the Dragon Blade come out from Minyugi. Gonna get down Kevin. The question is the rest of them. And it's still going to be in favor of Vapor. Minyungi's got 1. Minyungi's got 2. Here comes the self-destruct coming in. Minyungi's got the 3rd on V, so that's a good kill for him so far. That's winning the fight for them. Minyungi's got 4 of the last 5 kills actually in this team fight. So right now, they're not even needing the Dragon Blade for the second half. Death Blossom going to come in for a side piece sermon. Valkyrie's trying to keep him alive from Kevin Supreme. And now the Pulse Bomb's going to come in. Widowbaker tries to take down Kevin in the process. Transcendence for Slimy to hold. Transcendence from Phoenix to try and hold down as long as possible here. Stall this team. Not a single tick yet for Yurp Squad here on the second point. For Vapor here on the second point. And it looks like Yurp Squad is winning this fight as Toad and Scooch are just going to back up Pepto right there to take down Toad in the process. Staggers them even further. And Yurp Squad has themselves the first good defense, but still plenty of time left to go. 4:50 on the clock.
It was a really... that push came down to the wire. Yurp Squad, switching around their comp a little bit. Kevin Supreme switching to the Moira just to be able to get onto the point as fast as they could to get the heals out. But Viso's knocked out of his mech at the very beginning of this fight. Scooch is also knocked out, so both Divas are out of their mechs right now, leaving Vapor, in my opinion, in a worse position because now that... Oh, Widowbreaker knocking down Kevin, though.
And Widowbaker switching on over from the Tracer earlier, now playing the Widow, which is now working for him. You can see he's got 2 of the last 3 of the last 5 kills as well. That's working out in their favor. 1 person Kevin Supreme, the only one to hold on to this point and try and contest it. He's going to back up as well. Try and hold off as long as possible. Now trying to fly over to the Soul. Not going to be able to get the res in time. 2 ticks down. And now the self-destruct to try and clear out some points here. Scooch is going to go down. Or sorry, Biso gets the Garo. And the down try Dragon Blade also coming out. That's 1 for Minyungi. That's 2 for Minyungi as well. Looking for Pele as for the 3rd. Slimy's right there to take him out. So looking, Pele's going to keep in that corner right there to try and hold as long as possible. And Cash is right there to take him down. The only one left, the Brigida from Kevin Supreme, out and about. So no more mercies here for Yurp squad. Trying to get into the point here. 4 people on this point against 1. Scooch is going to come down and get out of D-Mech, and that should be it for Scooch as well. He's just going to hold and not killing him until Kevin takes him down at the last second. Going to stagger that even just a little longer. But Vapor, coming down to the wire, but you can see the counter up on top, 74.3%. They have 25.7% more to go before they take over to the second point.
You know what we saw there was Kevin switching to the Brigida and Phoenix switching to the Soldier right there. Trying to take your healers off and putting them on a DPS, more of a just setting that stage already.
Since the stage already, the question is he going to res? Kevin's going to res, so 30 seconds down for that res of Kevin Supreme, and now here comes the aggressive push. Vapor realizes it, and now they're going to try and come in. That's 3 kills already. A 3 for 2 trade coming in for Vapor, winning this fight. And now Minyungi is going to try his best to take out anything. So right now it is in favor. Pepto's going to hold it as long as possible as the rest of his teammates come in. The last tick coming into the final seconds. Nobody going to get there in time. And Vapor with 2:40 on the clock has himself the second point here in the dojo.
Again, those were all really good pushes, but it'd be disingenuous to not mention that was almost a 5-minute hold from Yurp squad right there. And even disregarding that they had 7 minutes in the bank timed up, a 5-minute hold on second point Hanamura is still very impressive in its on its own right.
So again, like you said, 4 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. They're almost 5 minutes taken off the clock by Yurp squad. So if you're a Yurp squad, even though you lost the second point, you might as well feel good about yourself there because you almost held on for 5 minutes and you've still got your attack coming up. You could tie it up here and maybe get some more time on the clock.
Exactly, and it is very early to call it, and Caster's Curse and all that. But if I am seeing a 3-3 being set up together on Yurp squad, I am very excited. We've seen that a lot on this point, especially if you can communicate with your team well enough to get that speed boost in and keep the heals coming around to your entire tank lineup. It's a devastating combo that if you're going up against a team who hasn't been able to shut down plays like that already, it's really going to be exciting to see them play that, and it might push Vapor to start picking a few more off meta picks. We are seeing the Doomfist, which is slowly can be working into the meta if because you're getting a lot of very fast paced quick DPS mains that are starting to try and throw the teams that they're playing against through a loop. And that's why we just especially as a caster, I love seeing off meta picks. Like seeing, as much as I hate playing against the Mei, I love seeing her on the field. I love seeing the crazy utility that a lot of players can bring out with her, especially with the more recent buffs that she's gotten in this, and especially just the amount of just surprise factor that a team playing against her who doesn't really sure what to do. It's just exciting to see her on the field.
But now you're not actually going to see a Mei here because Widowmaker plays the Doomfist now, so we're going to see if that comes into factor. But like you said, the 3-3 can be dangerous if you get the heals all around. But the point being that you don't have a Mercy coming up for your squad, so this is going to be an aggressive push for them to start. Widowmaker right there to end one healer's life of Phoenix. And so the room now contained in a 5v6 in favor of Vapor. Widowmaker's just pretty much going to try and take down the entire team himself. Already halfway to it all. Takes down Pepto, takes down Pele, and takes down Phoenix as well. So 3 of the last 3 coming in for Widowmaker, looking for more. Only one left to come on point here. Biso's neck is going to come out as Widowmaker itself. Scooch takes down Biso in the background. This should be the win here for Yurp squad, or rather the win here for Vapor. So the 3-3 not working in the favor, and it's the Doomfist from Widowmaker that's giving him troubles.
Exactly, and the utility from that is a lot, much of the, very much the same that a Brigida can bring in. The sort of whip shot, shield bash, really similar to and he's just knocking down Pele's shield. Very smart play from Doomfist, especially.
So Slimy Serpent moves on over to the Widowmaker, which takes down Widowmaker. Question is if both wants to go and try and res him. The answer there is no. So again, another offensive push here for Yurp squad. We're going to try and get in to the point here. Pele's having a little trouble all right there, all by himself. So Scooch is going to be right there to take advantage of it. Self-destruct there in the background. Question is it going to get anybody? The answer is no. Minyungi right there to pick up the pieces. So right now it's in favor of Vapor winning this back, pretty much pushing them out of the gate. And Yurp Squad's going to have to find an answer quick. They have 2:24 on the clock.
Exactly. You know, they're definitely sitting down and trying to figure out, okay, what do we need to switch around? Who needs to switch off? What do we need to do? What ult is worth saving, or what do we just need to switch off of before even, you know, wasting more time? 2 minutes and 10 seconds is, you know, you really only need one push to take a control map. But when you're going up against 5 ults on the other side, it's you know, it's going to be an ever-increasing task, because the longer that they wait, the more chance that Vapor's going to have to be able to throw out some of those ults, and that Meteor Strike is going to be devastating. I'm calling it now.
Meteor Strike, there it is. Speaking of which, here comes the Meteor Strike right in the room. That's one, let's do this, 3, stop! What a play from Widowmaker. That is a huge Meteor Strike for him. Kevin, Phoenix, and Slimy all go down at the same time. The rest of the team follows, and Vapor's got themselves a full hold there. I don't think Venus calling a team kill just yet, but it might as well be. Yurp Squad's got to find an answer for Widowmaker, because he is on fire.
And we were talking about ults right there. They only needed one to shut down that push in its tracks. And I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so.
So Vapor coming up confident here. 4 ults coming in for Vapor. Dragon Blade, Transcendence, Primal Rage, as well as a Valkyrie for them. Yurp Squad's only got 2 to work with, a Self-Destruct and an Earth Shatter as well. Coming in. Now the Earth Shatter comes in, as well as a Self-Destruct in the background. Gets 1, gets 2 on Tash and Toad. So this could be the answer that Yurp Squad is looking for. Widowmaker finally goes down, and he is no longer on fire. 5 of the 6 players going down. Scooch is going to scooch his way back over to his team, and Yurp Squad is going to have themselves a good push here, but that is down the stretch. They're only going to have an additional 4 minutes here, so 4:40 on the clock here to try and push this point up here to get the second one and tie up the game. Vapor, another in the control seat.
Yeah, 4 minutes going up against a team that has 4 ults in their bank while your team has none. But that was a really effective use of communication from both of your tanks. The self-destruct with the Earth Shatter, very, just perfectly well-timed, and was what got them those 2 kills, and was what fueled the fire for Yurp Squad's push right there.
Ready to initiate self-destruct sequence.
Feel the fire for the push, and we'll see if the fire keeps roaring here. Because now Vapor's going to try their chance upstairs. Sorry, Yurp Squad's going to try their chance upstairs here. And it looks like pretty much Vapor is spread out. 2 on the floor, 1 on top, and 1 upstairs with the rest of the team. That's Zagara. Viso's going to take down Widowmaker to start off for Yurp Squad there. Now the self-destruct upstairs is not going to get anybody. Just in time, Slimy Serpent does get down. And now it's a 4-on-2. Dragon Blade's going to come out here from Minyungi. Try to get anybody. Earth Shatter's right there to take down Zagara as well. Minyungi just escapes it. The Dragon Blade on Slimy Serpent. So right now a 2-on-5 on the point as the Valkyrie is brought out from Kevin Supreme. But right now it looks like Vapor's going to be able to hold this one person left, which is Pele. And everybody else is going to try to escape. Kevin's going to try and escape the wrath of Minyungi, but it's not going to be there. The last person there, Pepto, is going to try and do some damage, but really just going to back up and wait for his team. So Vapor with a good defensive hold, and it's about, I believe, if my math is right, they're about 40 seconds out from really putting this in their advantage.
Exactly. You know, that was a really smart pick from Minyungi, taking Slimy Serpent out of that fight. That Death Blossom is deadly, especially when you're running, when you have a Zenyatta who doesn't have his trans. You know, after Slimy Serpent saw that he had just burned through that, he was looking for a time where he could press that Q button and really tear through a lot of the defenses that Vapor Squad had set up. But now we see Yurp Squad trying to go for the high ground to push Vapor off so they can get pushed to the point.
And so now it's going to be Vapor trying to defend this point. Minyungi and Widowmaker starts us off pretty well. Self-destruct's going to try and clear the point here. I don't think that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Santa Maria, what a play from Biso. 3 kills down, 3 to go. Left for Yurp Squad, trying to push up in. Scooch is going to get DMX by the hands of Phoenix, so right now it's looking good for Yurp Squad. Not going to be getting anybody there. Dragon Blade's going to try out for Minyungi, try and get as many kills as he can. Death Blossom's going to come in. And really not going to help any there, but it's still the Primal Rage coming in for Zagara, trying to hold off as long as possible here. The Deadeye gets out Viso's next, so right now, still a good try for the Yurp Squad right now, but it's Vapor staggering and staggering all over again. Scooch is going to try his way onto this point, gets a little bit of the tick right now, but they're running out of time. 2 minutes left to go. It's still looking good for Yurp Squad. 4 people on the point. Going to take down Scooch, so the only people left are Widowmaker and Zagara to try and hold this point. Pretty much got it all the way, just a little bit left before we have a tie game. 2 minutes left to go. Transcendence is going to be popped by Tash as well. And here comes the stagger that is so effective here on Hanamura. The question is, can Yurp Squad hold them off? Valkyrie comes out for Kevin Supreme. We may have a triangulate here from Inyugi again. That's not going to happen. Self-destruct to try and clear out some points. See if they get into it. That's one, that's two on Phoenix and Pele. That's going to be huge. 3 people left to go on the point. Pele, Serpent, and Kevin all on the point. It's a 3v3 on the point right now, trying to see who can get who. Pulse Bomb comes in. That's going to get Cigar. That also D-Max Scooch right now. Big ult coming in from both sides. This is too close to call. A minute 20 left to go here on the point. And trying to get in. Pepto's really working hard for the team as the Tracer, but Toad finally takes him down. Biso trying to hold off the point as long as they can, and Biso finally goes down. Oh my god, I'm out of breath. But Vapor finally gets the defense they need. A minute 10 left to go, and somehow Yurp Squad's got to find a way to answer.
Yeah, the entirety of Yurp Squad is on fire right there. But my goodness, that staggered hold from Vapor right there, and that double kill with that self-destruct from Scooch, phenomenally placed, wonderfully timed, really gave them the and that's what swung the momentum back in their favor. When they got those 2 kills right on that instant, they almost had the advantage right back into their favor.
And you can see Yurp Squad, all 6 players on fire, but not able to hold off in time. Self-destruct gonna come right down the middle, clear at the point. Biso's got tapped in that process, gets a little bit of the third tick, so we have a game here. See the pulse bomb come out from Widowmaker, not going to get anybody here. Now we're going to have the death box on that point. That's 2 for Slimy Serpent on Scooch and Cigar. 2 huge kills. Phoenix is going to get there. 5 people on the point. Last one to go is Widowmaker with the Tracer. He's going to go down, and we have a tie game here on Hanamura. 3:23 to 1 minute left to go here in the second round.
My goodness, and Slimy Serpent, smart pick onto that Reaper. It's a really good pick when you're running against dive tanks, because the last thing that they want is to be stuck face to face with a Reaper when they don't have the D.Va doesn't have her boost, and the Winston doesn't have his the jump pack. And a really smart pick, phenomenally well placed Death Blossom right there. The 2 kills plus the DMAC really again swung the momentum back into Yurp Squad's favor, and we like to talk about that a lot. And because it we wouldn't keep bringing it up if it wasn't so crucial to the way that Overwatch likes, to be played, especially with teams like these who are communicating on both sides phenomenally. We're seeing a lot of good utility and good use out of all the ults that are being put on the field. A lot of questionables at the moment, but you're seeing Dragon Blades being thrown out left and right. Minyugi getting his Dragon Blade very quickly on the tail end, or about near the beginning of that fight. He had it, and then the amount of damage that he was able to put out really gave Vapor a little bit more breathing room. And once that Dragon Blade popped out, even though he wasn't able to really get much use out of it, it's still it's still amazing that he was able to get it that quickly.
And so now we're going to see last try on both sides, pretty much 2-2 the score. 1 minute for Yurp Squad to try and push up at least 1, maybe 2 points, see if they can get it. But Vapor's in a little bit, or Yurp Squad's in a little bit of trouble. Widowmaker back on the Doomfist. That was so effective last time on their first attempt. So we're going to see if that is the same story here. But Biso right there to use the Farah, try and get him out of play. See if that happens. But Yurp Squad a little bit staggered here. 4 on the side. Slimy Serpent's going to take down Tash to start. The question is if that person's going to res, but Biso's going to deny anything from Toad there, so it's still a good push here. Cigar doesn't notice anything behind him, and he's going to go down along with Scooch. So right now it's looking good for Yurp Squad to push up this point. Slimy Serpent takes down Widowmaker, and that should be 1, not 2 ticks, but the 3rd tick that should give them a point, and I believe that should give them an additional 30 seconds. Yes, it will, to get to the point. 34 seconds left to go on this one. They get the objective, but 30 seconds left. They got to rush.
Exactly. No ults on the field, so it's really going to come down to these between ult fights that both teams have shown they're very evenly matched. So it's going to come down to who can get the first pick, whether it's Slimy Serpent or Widowmaker right there.
So Widowmaker takes down Slimy Serpent to start, but they don't have time. 8 seconds. Somebody's got to get at this point, and somebody's got to get it fast. The last hope is Pepto with this Winston, which is good. Tash is going to be targeted by Pepto right away to take down any healers. And it's going to work. Pepto takes down Tash, but not before Zagara takes him down as well. It's 2-1 on the point right now. Trying to see if anything can happen. A 3-on-3 like happened last time. But Pele's going to change the story here. Takes down Minyugi. Pele! Takes down Toad. Santamadeo. What a play for Pele. Huge kills there. 1 person left to go with Scooch on the point. Tash is going to try his best as well to hold on to it. Phoenix, the only Zenyatta on the point. Rocket Brush takes down Scooch as well. So this is going to be huge. Try and clear the point. That's the first tick. That's the second tick. Last chance. Minyugi's going to try and get on the point. He's going to be right there to hold on to it on the roll. and still tries to dead-eye Bezos right now to take them, and Yungi and Cigar, last chance. Cigar is going to have to try and hold on to this with no healer whatsoever. Pepto's got the primal rage to clear out the point. And Scooch is going to try and come in as well. So the stagger still working in Vapor's favor. Beeso right there, down to take care of Widowmaker. Scooch the last hope for Vapor. Tries to get in, self-destruct to clear out the point. And no contest left at 2 points. And 1 minute out of overtime for Europe squad. It's 4-2. This is absolutely insane. 3:23 for Vapor to try and tie this game off.
You know, once the ults were thrown into the equation, that's when the fight really started to tip into one favor or the other. And once Beeso was able to get his Rocket Barrage in, that's when the fight started to go into Yurp squad's favor. And that's when Vapor, again, made that snap decision to switch off of that brawling comp that they were using before on defense and just switch to the stalling comp until they could sort of run that stagger down all the way and get the rest of their team all together in one spot. Minyugi switching to the Hanzo wasn't able to get much use out of it there, but again, you weren't really, you know, able to either way, as Yurp squad had the momentum of that fight and really just put it in their favor. But now they're running up against 3 minutes and 23 seconds, which is much, you know, more time that they had. So it's going to be down to how Vapor wants to go about this, because they have the time, and they're going to be able to set the standard a little bit better depending on how they want to push this point.
Well, the thing here too is that now the biggest thing ever, Yurp squad put themselves in a very good position, because now if you can run all 3:23 off the clock, even if Vapor were to win this map, even if Vapor were to get both points, there's no time on the clock for either teams. That's pretty much a tie at that point. So Yurp squad basically put themselves in a good position by winning both points there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're seeing them be again sorry, not them. Vapor is running more of a dive comp again, and no really immediate counter to dive on Yurp squad's favor. So again, it's going to come down to Slimy Serpent trying to get that pick on Widowbreaker, but it's Phoenix who knocks him out of the fight right there at the beginning of this.
Phoenix proves he's the better sniper on the Zenyatta rather than on the Widowmaker. Takes down Widowmaker of any chance. Beeso, any chance of a res is takes down Toad for any chance of a res gone for Vapor. So right now, Yurp squad looking good on the defense, trying to hold their way to victory here. 4-2 the score, as Vapor's got themselves 2:45 on the clock. A very corpse launch, very weird corpse launch from Cigar there as Pepto takes him down from the Winston, but still a good hold for Yurp squad. A first good defense, but that's still lots of time on the clock. 2:30 on the clock. This is impressive itself. Yurp squad pretty much took that point in just about a minute there with the minute that they had. Vapor's got all the time in the world, but they've just wasted a minute off the clock, and they still don't have the point.
Exactly. You know, there's not a single ult on the play just yet. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So both teams are just trying to build up their ults best they can. Now, Pele's shield goes down, leaving them without that main tank in the very front of the choke line and rusting their defenses open. But Slimy knocking Tash out, and Pepto knocking Scooch out of his mech.
That's going to be, but in the background, though, you're going to see Minyugi try with his Genji. Widowmaker's got himself killed on Kevin Supreme and Slimy, so that's going to count in their favor. But it's still Vapor not winning this fight. Pele and Pepto are right there, but how about this Widowmaker from Widowmaker right now, bringing up the Widowbreaker, coming in. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. The last 3 kills were all headshots, and this is a win for Vapor in their game. 1 tick is done, 2 tickets are coming in. The question is if Yurp squad wants to follow up with the defense, and Widowmaker alone takes this point over for Vapor. They've got 2 minutes to tie this game up.
Exactly, but now setting the stage for the fight already. But Yurp squad has ult advantage going to this. Not a single ult on in Vapor's favor. So they have 1 minute and 50 seconds to build up the ults and get the push that they need onto this to get the 4th point. Otherwise, this match is going to Yurp squad.
This match may be going to Yurp squad as well, but we'll see Widowmaker come out. Again, this Widowmaker coming out and absolutely dominating the floor. He's on fire, the only player on the floor right now, and you can tell why. Graviton Search pretty much gets 3 people in there. 3 people in there. Tash, Scooch, as well as, I believe, Cigar went down with that Graviton Search as well. And that's going to be 2 players out of 4 going down from that Graviton Search. So trying to get in here. Pele's going to try with that Reinhardt Clearance out the point. Scooch is going to go. Widowmaker still gets kills, but Slimy finally ends the reign of Widowmaker, and that is going to be it. Yurp squad has themselves a first good defense here on the 2nd point. 1 minute left to go. This is it. Vapor's got their last chance at this. Take a look at the ult economies. 4 ults for Vapor, 2 ults for Yurp squad. This could be it.
Yeah, and again, you know, all Yurp squad has in their pocket right now is Rocket Barrage and Valkyrie, and you know, it's really gonna be unfortunate for Yurp squad going into this defense, so they really have to hunker down and build up ult advantage, ults. But Kevin's knocked out by Zagara. That's your main healer, and that's your healer ult out of the fight.
Dragon Blade's gonna come out of the background right now. Rocket Barrage comes down for Fiso, takes down one, takes down two, and Cigar. The Dragon Blade's also coming down, takes down a double kill as well. So Vapor's got themselves the one on the point. Nobody left on the point. Kevin and Slimer, the only two left to try. Kevin's gonna try to res, is not gonna get there in time. So 2 ticks down. One more to go here for Vapor. They gotta try and get on this point. Fiso's moving on over to the side. Gets the self-destruct out to try and clear out the point. Pepto's gonna get demaxed at that point. Still no one on the point here. And Scooch is going to come out and pretty much carry this game here. Pepto's going down with the ship. And Widowmaker's still coming out here. Last chance here. Kevin is the only one left on the Brigida. Is going to go down. That's all 4 people on the point. And overtime means we have one more round to play. It's 1 minute to 1 minute. The final attempt on both sides. Here we go.
Every player on Vapor on fire during that last push. But Widowbreaker, Baker, my goodness, once again, with the headshots that they needed to get the knockdown Yurp squad, the tank play that we're seeing, we haven't mentioned a lot, but Zagara on that Winston, an excellent pick at the very beginning of that last push, knocking Kevin Supreme out of the fight. Not only is that your main healer, which is, that's a hit in itself, but knocking him out with that Valk put Yurp squad in such an unfavorable position, even though they weren't really going up against many ults to be built up against. Valk is still a phenomenally important ult if you're starting a push or if you're trying to hold back and just get your team healed up all around, more than just one player getting heals out, because you have both direct healers that can only really heal 2 people all at once. But when you're all together and you're putting out a Valk like that, it's really good at shutting down a push, because your team isn't as worried that, one, their Mercy is a little more mobile, she's a little bit harder to hit, but also they don't have to worry about being healed directly because you have that connected beam. And it was a wonderfully smart play by Zagara right there to go dive straight in and knock out that Mercy.
And this is an insane battle, by the way. And not to put down both teams, because I think this would be the greatest ending ever, but if this lands up in a draw, we are in for this. Was some exciting action here. Honestly, as a caster, I don't mind a draw here because this was intense as it is, and these two are playing equally as great on both sides. It would be heartbreaking to see a loser here, because these two teams are just playing absolutely superb Overwatch right now.
Exactly. Both sides, both teams are matched perfectly. Both are countering each other in the same spots, or the most important spots. I'm also just excited to see the Widow battles. I haven't been this excited for Widow battles in a very long time.
This is the one to do it, though. One person already on point. 2-1 in the bell room right now. Stove, last minute left to go. 20 seconds on the clock. Scooch is going to get taken down out of his mech by Phoenix, and so does his death. So right now, Yurp squad looking good right now to take over the first point. The question is, does Vapor want to try and contest it? The answer is no. So that means Yurp squad's going to have another 30 seconds to try and take this walk over. They're going to try and take the catwalk over. 30 seconds left to go. This is the same exact story we found back on the second round. 25 seconds left. Yurp squad, no ults coming in. The only one closest would be Pele with that self-destruct. Could be the difference.
Exactly, and it's going to come down to whether or not Zagara can get that shield down to capture that Diva Bomb. Otherwise, the rest of the team is going to have to jump off point or run to cover, and that's going to put them in a very bad position, especially with Yurp squad jumping onto the point like this.
So Yurp is going to try and jump on this point here. Transcendence is going to be popped off first for Phoenix, as well as the self-destruct in the background. Going to try and cover. Self-destruct from Zooch gets 1, gets 2. That starts off well for Kevin. Kevin and Pele not going to start off well. Widowmaker's also got 2 kills on Phoenix, as well as one other person. I forgot who it was as well. Pepto's going to use that Primal Rage to try and clear any of the point, but he is the last hope for Yurp squad to clear out this point. Widowmaker takes him down. Overtime clock is going to run out, and a 5-4 game to start us off here. Vapor's got the door open. They've got a chance. 1 point and 1 tick to win it all here on Hanamura.
But again, 1 second just at the very last bit of that first point hold, really just, again, it's too early to tell. Both these teams, when ults aren't involved, they are so evenly matched. And that's why it takes so long for that first initial pick to take place when it isn't one of the Widowmakers, when it isn't that immediate that immediate pick, because right now both teams are really smart about the second that Widowmaker gets that kill, the rest of the team is ready to pounce. They're ready to push through and react wonderfully. And again, on the flip side, the other team that is down a player is also smart enough to know, okay, we can either get 1 pick and even the odds, or we're pushing back.
And so 5-4, 30 seconds left. Prepare to defense. Prepare to attack phase. This is probably the most exciting game we've had out of the last 3. Don't you agree? This is probably the most exciting game we've had in the past 3 for us. Maui would know because our producer Maui would know because he produced our first game. That was exciting, but this might be the more exciting game here. And as they told us in team chat just now, a draw is very possible here because 1 minute, the first point is very possible. The second point is very hard to take over. The question is, Vapor needs a tick there. If they can get the first point, can they win the game? So we have 5 seconds left to go here on the prepare to attack. Get your popcorn ready, get your water cups ready, because this is about to go down.
I'm telling you folks, you do not want to blink for this last push. 55 seconds, so much can happen in just the blink of an eye. I am just waiting to see where this first pick is going to happen.
So here we go, first pick up on top. Cigar's going to try his stuff. A try up on top. Try to get anything with that Winston on top. Widowmaker's going to try his luck here on Slimy Serpent. Takes him down as well. So right now it looks like Vapor's winning this fight. 3 kills, 2 out of the last 3 being Widowmaker coming out here and winning the fight. Minyungi's going to end it here with Phoenix. Biso's just going to back over the Diva's trying to hold it as long as possible. Pele actually gets the kill on Minyungi as well. So Biso and Pele's going to try and hold off this point as long as possible. But it's finally going to be Biso going down, which means the first point is good for Vapor. All they have to do is get 1 tick, and this is game over. They're going to have 40 seconds to do it. Widowmaker takes out Slimy Serpent right in the background. 40 seconds left to go. This is it. You do not, like Bryce said, you don't want to blink. Get the popcorn, get the water cups. This is it. 30 seconds left to go. Vapor's going to try their hand up top. 4 people going to the side. Widowmaker's going to try their hand up on top as well. Minyungi and both DPSs, Minyungi and Widowmaker up on top. Now the Winston's going to try come in the background from Singara. This is an aggressive push there. Everybody on the point here for Yurp Squad to try and hold. Widowmaker's got the DMAC as well as the kill on Kevin Supreme. Earth Shatter gets the kill. Gets the kills as well. That's going to go on Tash. Phoenix is going to DMAC Scooch. And that's going to clear out the point as well. 5 seconds left to go. Somebody's got to get there. Minyungi's the last hope to try and dash on this point. And that is, no, not yet. Widowmaker and both Minyungi's going to keep on the point, trying to hold it as long as possible. Dragon Blade's going to come out for Minyungi. This might be huge. Nobody on the point right now. Minyungi's in the background, not getting anybody. Dragon Blade finally dashes in, and Zagara's there to bring in the overtime block to start. Slimy Serpent gets 2 kills in that last process. The Primal Rage here to stall as long as possible. Slimy Serpent there to kill. Tash is there. Tash is right there. Now the self-destruct comes in. Scooch is also there as well. Scooch is going to get D-Mac blasted off the point. Final try, Scooch is there. Overtime clock runs, and that is it. We have a tie. You're on Hanamura, 5-5. Your final score, 1-1 here in the series. Unbelievable.
My goodness. Again, we have casted 3 games this season so far. Without a doubt, this has been not only the most exciting series, but the most exciting game that we have seen already this season.
And so Widowmaker coming out with the play of the game. Widowmaker popping off, not on the Widowmaker, not only on the Widowmaker, not only on the Doomfist, but any character you give him, he popped off on. Well deserving of the play of the game, but overall, any of these players could have gotten him play of the game because that was an insane match overall. That was again, out of the 3 games we played this season, to be fair to the other teams, this was the best series overall.
Exactly. You know, these teams are so evenly matched that they drew. And that's so far this season, as far as I know, that has been the only draw so far. And so early into the season, we're in such a perfect spot in OTC right now. If this, again, I said this yesterday so much, but if these are what we can expect out of the season 5 so far, this is going to be a phenomenal season, not only to play in, to cast, but to watch from here on Twitch.
All right. And actually, we're going to ask if our producer here, Maui, wants to come in and talk a little bit because he had a few comments going on while we were chatting away here in the casters call. So, Maui, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is your mic on?
Yeah.
All right. So you as a coach here already from Havoc, and you're watching this through. What did you see throughout the series here? Because this was an insane series.
That was ridiculous, honestly. Both the Widows were really kind of evenly matched. I feel like Slimy might have been a little bit better. But Widowmaker, or I guess you could say Widowbreaker, was really just oppressing Slimy on the Tracer, and just doing his very best to keep him out of the fights on not only Hanamura, but the maps before. He was doing a very good job of it. And really, this game came down to which team had the better Widowmaker, and both teams kind of, really at the end, had pretty evenly matched Widows.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know, a lot of times... Sorry, go ahead.
No,
you go.
You go first. You were talking.
No, but again, I mentioned a lot of times, it came down to which Widowmaker was going to be the one to make that first pick, especially when you're running either against a team that's only running one sniper and it's a Widowmaker, or they're running two snipers. It's the long range of that Widowmaker sniper rifle that sets the stage for how that fight is going to go, whether it's going to be evenly matched or your team is going to be going in at an advantage or a disadvantage.
All right. Well, so that was, I mean, overall, that was a pause there because that was basically speechless from us here, and we were that was insane. I think I'm breathless after that game because that was absolutely insane. And if you're excited about this game, in a couple of minutes after this, we're heading on over to another game at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in just about 30 minutes here. There's going to be another game coming up. And again, Season 5, talk about starting off with a bang. Our 3 games were absolutely insane, and now we're going on to another one.
Exactly. Season 4 definitely had its moments that were phenomenal to watch and cast. But Season 5 already, the changes that we've brought into for OTC have already shown so well that they are, these are the appropriate changes that we needed to not only have more exciting games to play in, but also more exciting games to cast and watch because of just the skill and cooperation of the teams that we've seen so far has been just phenomenally to just, again, I'm almost speechless at the tail end of this series.
Mm-hmm. And so that is pretty much going to do it. I think we can go ahead and wrap it up here for this insane matchup. So we thank you guys for watching this presentation of the Overtime Champions community. Let's go down the list of our production crew. Our referee tonight was Toadette. Our production was from Maui. And my color, my good friend here, Bryce T. My name is Clutchkey. Thank you for watching this presentation of the Overtime Champions community. Season 5 starts off with a bang. Our third game here with me and Bryce T. Our third game brings us a draw here on Hanamura and one of the most insane series we've ever seen. Yurp Squad and Vapor both winning a map on Route 66 and Oasis here in Division B. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.